we already, speaking of the aggressive manner of their play styles, we're already getting into this match extremely fast. Fiend versus Emperor. Both of these guys had extremely dominant runs into the top 8. Fiend, I think, had a pretty close set against Balthazar, like you were saying, but still looked great towards the end of that set, and he's just using these spear and airs one after another right now.
Well, you know, spear and air is a very versatile move. It allows you to grab people out of the air at a lot of different angles, and can build up pretty good damage. Fiend did get that wall touch. He can make his way back, trying to look for that side air, force a little pressure onto Emperor, but Fiend now doing a great job at creating pressure in the reversal roll onto Emperor. Both players trying to find an offstage pressure, and you see kind of what we were talking about when we came back from break, is this aggression, this pure, unadulterated, just press forward and attack style of gameplay that we see from both these players is so much fun to watch because it constantly causes both players to kind of make up the rules as they go. The down sig, gravity cancel, really coming out of nowhere from Emperor, finding the confirmation on the Fiend, not the kill though, and that is going to put Fiend on the ropes. One more of those and it might cost him his first stock. Weapon throw coming out, not going to connect. Emperor really searching for that kill there.
And the best part is that it's not just blind aggression. It is all behind the scenes in these players' heads, calculated aggression. They know what moves they're using. They're using them in an aggressive manner, and usually if they you'll see them purposely miss moves a lot, where they miss a move and then punish the enemy's attempt at a punish. Fiend found a nice downlight in the neutral signature, but Emperor finding the first kill with that sword.
Fiend making his way back to center stage. Emperor trying to make the bow diagonal options get a lot of work out of them. Unfortunately for him, Fiend is going to be finding that gravity cancel down light to catch him out at just the right angle and pull Emperor off the top of the follow-up recovery kill. And now evened up stocks across the board. Emperor now has to find a way to bring this back. Fiend doing a great job at utilizing that sword play, and the weapon up throw is going to be catching Emperor, but no follow-up unfortunately from Fiend, because that stun frames right on the back end of that weapon throw are, you know, very few and far between. If you can't get right on top of them, you might as well stay back, because otherwise you're going to get the wake-up punish.
And Fiend right now has Emperor on the edge, trying to edge guard that, but Emperor, good job of getting around Fiend's sword defenses, finding a weapon, and now Fiend was actually the one who was unarmed for a little bit. Now found himself a spear. Emperor utilizing that gravity cancel downlight on the boat to get back onto the stage while putting out an active hitbox. He did it again. This time it actually hit. Fiend threw his spear and now no longer has a weapon. Gonna try to pick up that one on the ground though. He does get the sword, but at the expense of his health bar, as he takes one downlight and two neutral lights from Emperor. Now both players once again in the red. Emperor landing the Sair. One more hit will do it. And the gravity cancel down signature. So good for finding kills on this Koji.
Fantastic read from Emperor, and I know he loves doing those gravity cancel down saves. He's thrown out at least 6 this game, I'm pretty sure. Fiend trying to find the neutral sig kill off the top, but not going to find it. Emperor still going to live through that. The side sig, though, not quite. He does get taken out on that left side, and now Emperor on his last stock. It's all evened up between these two. White on white. It's Rick Ross here, coming in with the even stocks, and Emperor and Fiend have to go at it. And now Fiend getting a lot of damage with that sword play, getting that recovery option off the top, but it's, I mean, barely any force behind it because it's so fresh on the stocks.
Yeah, I mean, it's same thing that we were seeing with Fiend versus Balthazar. It's just insanely close. Always comes down to this last stock white. They trade back and forth, but in the end, they're honestly pretty even skill level wise. Emperor now the one with the advantage. He has the bow. That was a fantastic spot dodge from Fiend. It is extremely hard to dodge that down signature on Koji. Emperor is continuing to throw it out though. At this point, I'm pretty sure it would kill despite the far blast zones of Shipwreck. He throws it out again. Fiend couldn't quite land the punish, but now he did. Emperor maybe getting a little too hasty on these down signatures. Fiend goes for the ground pound, but it misses. Emperor now on stage. He throws it out again, and another one.
Gosh,
he's looking like Noel right now.
He's in love with these down sig options. And it just, I mean, we understand that the hitbox is pretty wide, and the fact that it can kill off the side is pretty efficient use if you can find the right positioning for it. But right now, Fiend is playing around that zone pretty well.
Wow! Oh my!
The kill. I can't believe he didn't get caught by a single one of those final down sigs that Emperor kept throwing out, and in fact just turned it right around completely to get that recovery kill. That was incredibly impressive on Fiend's part, taking in the movements, the dodges, everything.
Insane amounts of composure coming out from Fiend. He was on deep red in death percent for so long. Emperor throwing out all those sigs, throwing out all those sword nares. Fiend perfectly dodged everyone and punished accordingly, and he definitely deserved that first win in game 1. And now they're going to be taking it to Twilight Grove, which once again, aside from Mammoth, has probably been the most popular map today among Brazil.
Emperor right now trying to make the aerials work on the bow. Some of the most advantageous movements that you can do, aside from maybe neutral lights and down lights, is utilize that aerial kit on the bow. Having a very strong opportunistic approach if you approach the right way against sword. And woo, that down sig option gravity canceled actually gave Emperor a couple options to follow up with a string with the bounce off of the island, but not taking advantage of that. Fiend is just going to turn right back around and find the kill off on the left.
Fiend just ever so good at landing these sword snares. He's so consistent. His playstyle is striking me very much so as one that maybe he drew a little bit from NA players sword-wise. Very focused on using these siders for spacing, using these down airs. It is very reminiscent of some of the best sword players in NA, and right now his sword is looking up to par with some of those. Nice down sig by Emperor to close out the first stock. Fiend got him into the yellow, so let's see if Fiend can extend this lead. Right now, grabbing the spear, able to find the weapon.
Nice gravity cancel from Emperor to get a little bit of damage built up. Still looking for a little bit of damage, it seems, as he throws out constant neutral airs, trying to catch Fiend out in the air. Nice down light combo follow-up from Emperor to get a little offstage pressure, but both these players still pretty fresh in their damage ratios. Fiend trying to find the approach onto Emperor, but Emperor has kind of had the run for his money right now as he keeps throwing Fiend from coast to coast using these light attack strings.
Fiend just trying to keep Emperor off the stage. Emperor so good at landing these side lights and neutral lights on the bow, whether they be gravity canceled or grounded. Does hit. Okay, Emperor. He hit the down sig, knocked him off the right island. That neutral signature was not even close to landing. But I like the thought process. The geometry as that uppercut hits. Emperor gets all bounced around on the right island. Either player can kill the other one, and Emperor using the classic plank.
It's always close between these two, and Emperor is just like you said earlier, that 2010-2011 revival meme coming back with the planking just constantly from Emperor. He loves throwing that thing out there, just looking for those catches, those reversals, those gravity canceled. It doesn't matter what kind of flavor you use. That down sig is just it's the move of the month right now for Emperor. Oh, weapon snipe from cross stage. That's coast to coast throw. Fiend finding the kill off on the left, and he still has a little bit of damage he's got to work back from. Emperor taking a bit of a lead here, just finally getting into his final stock. But Fiend, not a stranger to just pure aggressively approaching his opponent, is now getting right into Emperor's face, and it may cost him as Emperor just starts getting a lot of this bow pressure right into Fiend in retaliation for Fiend just, I don't know, standing right in front of him, like, giving him the opportunities.
That was so smart by Emperor. He didn't care that he was getting a hit by the weapon throw from Fiend, and he traded with it on purpose because he knows that the Koji bow Ensig comes out very fast. So he traded with the weapon throw, and the Ensig went out either way, and it hit Fiend and killed him. Smart way to use that signature by Emperor. And I actually just noticed that he is using plus deck stance on Koji. No wonder he's machine gun bowing like I was saying earlier. This man has like 9 decks.
Fiend now with the sword trying to bring this back. This is game number 3, and it's not best of 5 yet, so whoever loses here gets dropped down to the lower bracket. And that is going to be one of these players going up to face off against some of the winners in the lower bracket who are not quite in there yet. But Fiend now making his approach onto Emperor as they just trade blows back and forth.
Right now, yep, they just continue to trade. I think that the Mammoth Fortress is probably going to end up being a better pick for Fiend. After that Twilight Grove map, it's pretty clear that Fiend succeeds when he has a specific edge that he can guard with this sword. Twilight definitely doesn't have that defined of edges that you can kill people off with that island on the right existing. And right now, both players in the red. First Sig will probably kill. I would not be surprised to see a down signature from Emperor. Possibly like 3 times in a row, to be honest.
Fiend is really trying to utilize his movement options to get around Emperor, but Emperor doing a good job at reading out the positioning from Fiend in order to punish properly and find that kill with the down stick. It's one thing to move around constantly around your opponent, try to mix up their positioning and throw them off to find the proper punish. But it's another thing to move around and just not really find anything off of it. I don't see a lot of follow-ups coming up from Fiend right now from his movement options to really find any punishes or aggression options coming onto Emperor as a more proactive set of attacks. It's more jumping and fast falling for the movement to try to throw him off.
Oh, he caught Fiend trying to come down onto the stage. Emperor is just controlling all of the space on the stage right now. Fiend is going to have to pull out some crazy plays if he wants to bring this game back. Emperor just back and forth. He is just going back, hitting the sidelights, building up the damage onto Fiend. And this is looking absolutely brutal for someone who eliminated Balthazar, who eliminated so many other players on his way here. Fiend is just struggling so much versus Emperor right now. Nice downlight into recovery from Fiend. Starting to build up this damage. Emperor is unarmed and he's going off stage. Fiend, that was potentially his chance to turn it around, but Emperor being smart, going back up, grabbing the sword. Now Fiend just... This sword versus sword matchup is where Fiend excels. He's very confident in his sword, in its ability to edge guard, but Emperor has just been so good at mixing up these recoveries to make sure that Fiend can't do to him what Fiend's been doing to other people this entire tournament. Fiend has not been able to land these sword gives that he's so good at.
Oh, goes for the side air, tries to read the jump from Emperor rather than the grounded option, and that is going to cost him a little bit of health here. Emperor is still in his second stock. It's going to take quite a bit for Fiend to try to find the kill here. Goes for the weapon throw. Can he get it? Yes, and that is going to stuff out those recovery options on from Emperor to get back to stage. And now stocks are all evened up, but Fiend has so much room to have to work back from. Can he pull this back and take the win here, progressing into the winners finals, or will Emperor secure his place, taking the upset against Fiend from Fiend's progression last year? The breakdance gravity canceled is almost going to take Fiend out right at the end. Down, ground pound, going for the kill. No, it's not going to catch. And Emperor with the turnaround, getting the down sig, and that is going to confirm his win. And this is going to be the first time in a championship series for Brazil that we're actually going to be seeing Fiend go down to the lower bracket.